Hey there, I'm Tim Burrell from Raleigh, North Carolina, and what we're going to talk about today is 3 of the most important ideas in real estate negotiating. Does this look like some of your recent real estate negotiations in terms of particular transactions? Well, what I'm trying to do is to change the culture of real estate negotiating and also the quality. And now they tell me you're supposed to start a presentation either with a joke or with a good quote. Now, most of my jokes are lawyer jokes and they can't be told in polite company, so the quote is, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. Why is this important to you? And here's the 3 things we're going to talk about. Why you really need to have exceptional negotiating skills. Number 2, what is it that you really do when you negotiate? Number 3, how do you get negotiating power? Everybody wants extra power. Well, why? Because, well, let's take a little poll. How many of you feel that you've been taken advantage of at some stage in some negotiation? Been made to feel inferior? Wonderful quote by Eleanor Roosevelt saying, nobody can make you feel inferior without your permission. What you need to do is to take away that permission. And if you really learn to negotiate well and you get tremendous negotiating skills, you're going to do it with confidence as opposed to, well, I have this offer for you, I hope that you do it with confidence, you do it with conviction, and you do it with clarity, so then you're going to be a lot better in revoking that permission to be made to feel inferior or having people take advantage of you. So number 1 is why. That's why you need to learn it. Number 2 is, what are you really doing? And a lot of people think, oh yeah, I negotiate all the time, and you do. Well, I get a lot of people that ask me for reading on negotiating. William Ury is fabulous, 4 wonderful books on negotiating. Anything by the Harvard Negotiating Project, you can't go wrong. Several books by the Harvard Business School. But the thing that's fun about the Harvard folks is look at that long definition. Some discussion back and forth, interests are shared, some interests are not shared, trying to read. He can deal with an audience that had perfect SAT scores. How many of y'all had perfect SAT scores? That's right. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. We're people. So what I've done is to change the concept. Let's apply it to real estate. Because what we do is we get at least 2 parties to accept something other than what they originally thought they wanted. Okay, it's persuasion. Now, when you initially look at this, you could feel a little bad about this definition because it seems like you're manipulating these people. Actually, what we do is different than that. Realtors, we unfortunately have this heritage of dealing with positional negotiating. You start with one position, the other party starts with another position, and then you defend the original position, they defend their position, then you lose all your credibility by abandoning what you just defended and you move. Let's say, for example, I've got a listing for $300,000. Let's see, for those of you in California, $3 million. Okay? And I get an offer of $280,000. And the person giving me the offer of $280,000 has to defend up. Well, one of your comps, that place, they had shelves in the garage, and so, your $300,000 price is too high. Those shelves in the garage really added to. Fine. And then I have to disparage their position, and they have to support their position, and then I abandon my position and come down to $295,000. They go up to $285,000. We eventually meet at $290,000. But as opposed to positional negotiating, what we realtors really do, if we learn to collaborate with the other realtor, is to find out what the true interests are. Not the position, not the posturing, not the posing, but the real interest. So those people who sold that property at $290,000, the family selling gets to move to the beach and be just down the street from the grandchildren. The family buying gets to be in the school district they wanted to be in, so the kid gets to be in the award-winning band. That is the interest. So if you focus on the interest and you don't focus on the position, you come out with dramatically better results, and you come out with clients that are so much happier that they will refer all their friends to you. So that's point number 2. That's what you're doing. You're moving people from a position that doesn't work to a position that does work, but you're really doing it in their interest and getting their interest satisfied. Number 3, power. We don't have time to discuss all 7 of the points in negotiating. Just one. BATNA. Who can help me with BATNA? Anybody else out there? Go ahead.
It's a best alternative to.
Let me help you a little bit.
I know it's motion.
There you go. Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. But this is all about negotiating power. You're BATNA. You can make a deal or not. And if you don't, what's your other choice? That's the way I like to change it, because BATNA is something that you won't easily remember. We had one person who did. Everybody remember that little show, the OC? We can remember OC. Other choice. That's what BATNA is all about. What is your other choice? What can you do if you don't make a deal? And this is the largest part of negotiating power, and a lot of people don't realize this. Anybody play poker? Oh geez, because I need to make some money before I go home. If you play poker fairly well and you know what your hand is, you're going to do moderately well. But if you want to get to the World Series final tables, you need to be able to determine what the other person's hand is. And if you can collaborate, you can actually share what the information is and what the interests are. If you don't, you've got to get tells and find out what their other choice is. If you get the other choice, you will know a whole lot better what you can do and what they can do. Any people here from Tennessee? Good. You know Jonesboro? Beautiful festival they have there every year. Storytelling. Best way to relate to people and relate to realtors. Tell stories. This is Rachel. You may not remember BATNA, but you'll remember Rachel, like in Friends. Well, Rachel is only 5, but she can out-negotiate her dad. She's sitting there at the breakfast nook, big beautiful table her dad built, and her dad is trying to negotiate with her concerning eating that green stuff, you know, those vegetables. You guys had a few moments of that with your own children? And so he tries to persuade her by saying, if you want to grow big, you need to eat your vegetables. So she thinks about this for a moment. Cute little blonde hair flying all over the place. And turns to her dad and said, it's okay if I don't grow big. I can just grow to be medium. Use the primary principle of negotiating. What's her other choice? Going to be medium. She doesn't have to accept his position. She has another choice. That's power. Well, related to your situation. You know, I had a listing recently where still owed the contractor about $16,000, place all fixed up, but the bank was thinking about foreclosing. We had a contract, appraisal came in low, weren't too pleased about it. Yeah, we could reduce the price, but then they still wanted the seller paid closing costs, which we were trying to take away. Okay, so what's my choice? Don't do the deal, get foreclosed, get nothing. What's their choice? There's 4 other properties in the neighborhood that are very similar. What's our relative power? They got it, I don't. We made the deal, we broke even, we paid the contractor, we went home without any pain. Sometimes avoiding pain is a wonderful thing. So that's what we're talking about in terms of the different items. Don't have time for questions. I'll be here at 10:45 tomorrow. Bring all kinds of questions. I love interactive presentations. And we'll see you then. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tim. Looking forward to that again.